So, Shalom everybody. We have, only now I realized that there are 5 that couldn't make it here today. I'm very sad. And come next time. You all need to come here. Don't rely on these videos. It's not the same. By the way, maybe next time we'll be in another place, always the same area. No inconveniences, and we'll make sure you don't move too much. It'll be either here. We're moving to a new apartment in Newton. It's like a 3-minute drive from here. So I might, if I see it's free, I think it's a nicer, like a bit. I think it's more suitable for. I think this is a bit dark, you know. So it has more light and maybe. So stay tuned, and also you, whoever's listening. Hopefully you're listening, and I'll tell you if we're meeting here or it's called Kopar, K-O-P-A-R. It's a condo in Newton, next to not far away. Okay. So now we're gonna really learn. Does anyone want to read the transliteration? And thank you, Andy, for introducing me to this word. So we have you all have the papers, the pages. So I think there's another copy. Can anyone pass a copy? Daniel, maybe? Yeah, I think we have here. We're supposed to have more than enough. Okay, more than enough. So you have here the transliteration. Since I think all of you or most of you cannot still read the Hebrew. In 3 weeks, yes, but now no. So what you'll do is, I want you to practice pronouncing the words. So some of it, I think if someone is going to read the whole thing, it's just going to take a very long time. But maybe we'll go in order, and each one of you can read one verse, one pasuk, and if you don't want to read, it's okay. We'll just skip, okay? No pressure here. So you all have the transliteration. Okay, you're not expected to understand anything, maybe 1 or 2 words. So Darren is gonna, on my right, we always go to the right, Yamin is the right. Yamin Adonai Osa Chai, it says in Tehillim. So the right of God is powerful. Okay, I don't know the exact translation, but how is it? Yamin Adonai Osa Chayil. Osa Chayil is victorious, is strong. There's a pasuk like that. I think it's in Tehillim. Okay, so we're going with Yamin. Darren, do you have a Hebrew name? Not yet. You have to have something with Dalet. David, Daniel, Dor. Dror, maybe Dror. Dror is freedom. Dror. Darren, Dror. Does that sound good?
Dror.
D-R-O-R. Doron.
Next louder.
Okay.
Okay, so והנחש היה ערום מכל חיית חסדה אשר עשה אדוני אלוהים ויאמר אל האישה אף כי אמר אלוהים לא תאכלו מכל עץ הגן.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna, very good. I'm reading it again. Okay, just that you can follow if you haven't followed yet. I'll always go back. Okay, I'm gonna always read. והנחש היה ערום. Now the first word you know, hanachash. What is nachash? Snake. Nachash is snake. And if you have hey, ha is the. T-H-E. The. Ha nachash. Ha bira. I'm drinking bira. I'm drinking beer. So this is, the beer is habira. Okay? Ha-chaver, the friend. Ha-shulchan, the table. And ha-nachash, the snake. Ve is the vav, when it comes in the beginning of a word, for the most part, it's and. And the. Ve ha. Okay, that's why Hebrew is shorter than English. Instead of writing 3 words in English, and the serpent, we write 1 word. Vehanachash. Vehanachash. And the serpent, haya. I'm not going to translate each word, soon we're going to discuss this. היה is was, והנחש היה ערום מכל חיית השדה, אשר עשה אדוני אלוהים, ויאמר אל האישה, אף כי אמר אלוהים לא, what is לא?
No.
No?
Not. No.
לא, exactly, לא תאכלו מכל עץ הגן. So I'll just tell Grace, we just began now, and we're reading the transliteration together. So do you have the...
Yeah.
Okay, so each one of us is reading one verse, one pasuk echad, with the transliteration. So we just, Darren, or in his Hebrew word name, we granted him Dror.
Dror.
Dror. That's okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We read the first verse, first pasuk, pasuk א', והנחש היה ערום מכל חיית השדה, אשר עשה אדוני אלוהים, ויאמר אל האישה, ויאמר, very important word, what is ויאמר? And he said, Vayomer. So I want everybody to know this word. Vayomer, I probably countless times in the Tanakh, in the Torah. Countless times. Because everybody talks all the time. God talks to Avraham, that talks to Yitzchak, because people have what to say. Vayomer Avraham, Vayomer Adonai. And here who's Vayomer? Nachash. And you'll see the form of Vayomer in different words, in different ways. Let's say if it's a male or if it's a female. If it's many people saying, or is it one person saying? And you'll learn to recognize this, the root, every Hebrew word, every, how do you say, po'al, a noun, right? Noun or binyanim, not yet. Verb, thank you. So every verb in Hebrew has a root. 3 letters, sometimes 4. Okay? Vayomer, Aleph, Mem, Resh. It's a root. But again, you don't have to remember this, just remember the word. You don't have to remember the grammar. Vayomer el ha'isha. What is isha?
The woman.
The woman. Ha'isha, the woman. Af ki amar. Remember, Vayomer amar. Amar is in the past. It's the form of the past. Amar Elohim. God said. Lo. What did God say? Amar Elohim. Lo. Don't. Tochlu mikol etz hagan. Don't eat from the etz. Etz is tree, is another word for today. Another word for today for you to remember. Etz. Hagan. Gan, what is Gan? Gan-Eden, what is Gan? Garden. Gan. Okay? And many times in Israel today, you want to say Gan, you mean the kindergarten. You send your kids to Gan. Okay? That's also a garden, right? So you say, in which Gan does your Yeled or Yalda learn? Study. Yeled, a boy, or Yalda, girl? Vakasha, Wayne, what is your Hebrew name?
Huh?
You have a Hebrew
I don't
name?
have.
We need to come up with something. Okay.
ותאמר האיש, ותאמר האישה אל הנחש.
הנחש.
נחש משברי עץ. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
הגן נוהל.
No, מצוין. Very good. And that's why we're here. We can do it very, very slowly. And please, okay, allow yourself, okay, just take your time. Vatomer. So we have Vayomer is for a man, and Vatomer is for a woman. So what is Vatomer? She said, exactly. And she said, Vatomer, Vav. Remember, Vav is and. Vatomer Ha'isha. What is Ha'isha?
The lady.
Yeah, the woman.
The woman, the lady.
El, what is El?
Good.
El, 2, okay? El, 2. El, so she said to who was she speaking? Hanachash. Mipri etz hagan nochi. Okay, I'm not translating each and every word because I don't want it to be too much. Okay, I want us to have maybe 10 words here that you can recognize. Okay. Please, next, if you would like. It's okay. So whoever likes, Sharon, Michal, I mean, or Michelle. Okay, Asher. Very good, very, very good. Very good. So we have Mipri Ha'etz. What is Ha'etz? The tree. Remember, Etz is tree. And it's okay if you don't remember. That's why we're repeating. Asher betoch Hagan. What is Hagan?
The garden.
Amar is in the past. It sounds like Vayomer, Vatomer, Amar. What is Amar? Said. In the past. Elohim, you all know, is God. Lo. What is lo? No. Lo tochlu mimenu. Velo. What is velo? And no, or and don't in this context, and don't tig'u bo pen temutun. Okay, next verse. Pasuk Daled. Sharon.
ויאמר הנחש אל האישה לאמות תמותון.
Metzuyan, very good. Vayomer, you know. Hanachash, you know. So the snake said, El haisha, to the woman, Lo mot temutun, you won't die. Okay? Mavet is death, and we have different ways, different forms of the word mavet. Here it's mot. Mavet, mot, and by the way, in other languages we have mort, mortality. So these all have to do with each other. Mot, mavet, mot temutun is, it repeats itself. Mot temutun, okay, you would not die. Okay, it's practically saying to the woman, you will not die, even if you eat from the forbidden tree, right? And he was correct, as we will see. Okay, pasuk hey, bevakasha. Bevakasha is please, pasuk hey. Who's next?
כי יודע אלוהים כי ביום אלוקן ממנו
ונפקחו.
והייתם כאלוהים יודע טוב ורע.
Perfect. We already recognize here at least 3 words. Ki yodea, remember we said etz hada'at. What is etz hada'at? The tree of knowledge. Da'at, we said da'at is knowledge, and it also has to do with connection, especially sexual connection. But here is God knows. Ki yodea, ki is because. Because. Ki, kaf yud, ki. These are 2 letters we learned today, kaf and yud. Ki, because. Why? Ki yodea Elohim. Because God knows. Ki. Here, this ki has something else. Beyom ochlechem. Okay, sometimes ki is because, sometimes in the Bible it is also ki beyom is like when. Oh, beyom ochlechem imeno v'nifkechu oinechem v'yitem ke Elohim ke. Right, we have ve is and. Right, remember vav is and when we have ke is like. Ke Elohim, similar to, like. So when we have the letter kaf in the beginning of a word, if it's not an organic part of the word, it's an addition, so we know it's ke. Okay? Ke Elohim as God. So he knows, God knows that when you're gonna eat from it, you will be like God, similar to God. Ke Elohim. In what sense? Yod'ei tov vara. Yod'ei, what is Yod'ei? What is Ladat, Yodea? Da'at, knowing. Knowing. You will know tov vara. Good and bad or evil. Pasuk vav. What do you want to? Yeah, pasuk vav. But it's the 6th verse.
ותראה האישה כי טוב העץ למאכל וכי טבע הוא לעיניים ונחמד העץ להשכיל ותיקח מטריות ותאכל ותיתן גם לאישה עמה ויאכל.
Perfect. You even have a Hebrew accent. That's good. Okay. Right? So that's very good. So we see also here, Vatere ha'isha, ki, right? Tov, ha'etz, all of these words you should know. So the woman sees that the tree is good, lema'achal, ma'achal is for eating, v'chi ta'avahu la'einayim, einayim or eyes, One ayin is one eye. By the way, ayin almost sounds the same. Ayin. Okay, ayin, and einayim is plural, two eyes. Einayim. By the way, for this, I recommend children's music. Maybe I'll send you on YouTube. Right? You have head, shoulders, knees, and toes. You watch it in Hebrew. That's it. You get it all. Okay. Yadayim, einayim, af velashon. Okay. So it's just very, very simple, and you can follow. I'll send it to you. Remind me if I don't. V'hitem ke'elohim, like God. Sorry. Where are we? תאווה לעיניים, right? ונחמד העץ להשכיל, ותיקח מפריו ותאכל, ותיתן גם לאישה עמה ויאכל. פסוק זין, דניאל. פסוק זין, 7, right?
ותפחנה עיני שניהם, וידעו כי עירומים הם, ויתרו עלי תאנה, ויעשו להם חגורות. מצוין. Now look at this. First of all, what is Ainei? Which word we just learned now? Look at me.
Ayin.
Right. Ayin, Einayim, Ainei. So Ainei here has to do with their eyes. Ainei shnehem, both of them. The eyes of both of them. Like the eyes of. Okay? Again, we're not speaking grammar now. I just want you to try to identify the word. You know it has to do with the eyes. So their eyes are opening, right? ותפקחנה עיני שניהם, וידעו כי עירומים הם. Now this is an amazing thing that is lost in translation. Arum, if you look at verse Aleph, at Pasuk Aleph, at verse 1, Pasuk Aleph, the third word, what is the third word? Arum. Hanachash היה arum. And when you see it, Pasuk Zayin, the 7th verse, the 6th word, Airumim. Airumim is just a plural, right? Two people, one person is arum, and two people are Airumim. But what is this arum? Arum. So first of all, in today's Hebrew, and probably also in the 7th verse, is naked. So arum, the literal understanding, the simple understanding of arum is naked. They realized that they are naked. Arum. There are even Hebrew jokes for kids about this word. Arum, the kids, they make fun of this, right? Arum, naked. But arum has another meaning in Hebrew, and that is clever, very clever, or even cunning. Is that a word in English? Cunning?
Yes.
Cunning. So it's very clever in not such a good sense, okay? Is that correct? Cunning? So when you say, today you say someone is armumi, is like
Like a snake.
like a snake. הוא כנחש, הוא כמו נחש. So the nachash was arum, not naked. Maybe it was also naked. I don't know. But when the Torah says a nachash haya arum, and then it says that Adam and Isha were arumim, it's the same word. And we have the same word in the last verse of chapter 2. We're in chapter 3, because the Sipur Gan-Eden, the story of Gan-Eden, appears in 2 chapters, chapter Bet and chapter Gimel. And the last pasuk of chapter Gimel has the word arum, that man and woman were arumim and they didn't know. They weren't ashamed, they didn't realize that. Then a verse after we have again arum, and now we have again arum. So we have 3 times arum. And if we believe God chose these words, we need to ask ourselves why. As הם יודעים, they know כי ערומים הם. So what do? They sow עלה. עלה is a leaf. עלה, okay, עלה is a leaf. תאנה is fig. Where do we have the word fig in the Bible? Song of Songs is one good example, right? תאנה. התאנה חנתה פגע.
Te'ena, that's very beautiful. So hate'ena is a fig. So why do they take a leaf of a fig? Soon we'll think about this. Okay, we'll leave like 10, 15 minutes just to discuss a bit, okay, and then we'll end today. And then they make chagurot. Chagura is a belt. Do you have a chagura? I have a chagura. I brought a chagura. Chagurot is plural for chagura. Chagura, like you see the last word of Pasuk Zayin of the 7th. Chagurot, so they have a belt. But in the Bible, actually, you can see, I think I even wrote down where, because I looked it up. You can see that chagura also has to do, like in the most intimate part. Where do we see that? And again, you know this only through the Hebrew. So if you look at Tehillim 45, verse 4, you see that the fighter, the warrior, puts a chagura on his yarech, the thigh, I don't know how you say it.
Yes.
And also, and I don't remember where it appears, maybe you know by heart, who puts his hand under the thigh?
Yes.
Sim na yadcha tachat yerichi yad. Hand, put your hand, please, tachat, under yerichi, my thigh. Who says that? Who says that? Eliezer, you know Eliezer, the servant Eliezer, that chose Rebecca. So Avraham called him before he went on his mission and asked him to put his hand in an intimate place, yarech. And the chagura goes on the yarech. And why do they put it? Because they're ashamed, because they notice they're naked. So they need a chagura, and they need a big leaf to cover it. So they took a leaf of a fig, because it's a big leaf, and maybe because the tree of knowledge was a fig tree. We don't know. Why we don't know? Because the Bible doesn't tell us what kind of tree it was. Then some people say apple. It never says in the Bible it's an apple tree. It does not say that anywhere in the Bible. It was probably a fig tree, maybe wheat. These are the things we see in this chapter. We see bread, we see wheat, we see fig. What are the trees? Apple, it doesn't say. I'm not saying it's for sure not an apple. I don't know. I'm just saying the Bible did not state it's an apple. Okay? So where were we in the chagurot? אז איפה is where? איפה אנחנו? Where are we? חגורות זין ח'. Okay? פסוק ח'. פסוק ח' is the 8, the 8, right? Okay.
וישמעו את קול אדוני אלוהים מתהלך בגן לרוח היום, ויתחבא האדם ואשתו מפני אדוני אלוהים בתוך עץ הגן.
מצוין. Call. The third word, call. Do you hear my call? My voice. Call. Now I want to tell you something. Call. When I read this verse, the first thing I thought about is one chapter in Tehillim. Kol Adonai yecholel hayalot. Kol Adonai yachil midbar. Kol Adonai bakoach. Kol Adonai behadav. Which chapter is it? Can you help me? The chapter of the voice of God. And the voice of God in Tehillim is very powerful. And when I saw this, I said, I really, really feel for Adam and his wife. Because hearing the voice of God, you run away. You don't run away because you're naked. You don't run away because you did something bad. You run away because it's Kol Adonai. How do I know? I open Tehillim. I see Kol Adonai. Kol Adonai, what does it do? Everything shakes. Everything, you find the English words for shivering, for trembling, turns apart. We have this in Tehillim. So again, the Hebrew helps us, the sensitivity of saying Kol, K-O-L, Hebrew letters I'm not saying, we didn't learn them yet, okay? Kol Adonai Elohim mithalech bagan, in the garden, לרוח היום, ויתחבא אדם ואשתו מפני אדוני בתוך עץ הגן, so they're hiding, and we understand why they're hiding. Okay? Pasuk tet, and the rest I'm going to read, and you can follow.
ויקרא אדוני אלוהים אל האדם ויאמר לו אייכה.
תודה. ויקרא אדוני אלוהים. ויקרא, and, right, and, vav is and. Vayikra is and he called. So this is also an important word. Which book from the, how do you call it, Pentateuch? Is that a word?
Pentateuch,
The
yeah.
Pentateuch?
The third
Which book in the Pentateuch, whoever didn't hear the answer, starts with the word Vayikra? The third book. How is it called in English? The third book?
Leviticus.
Leviticus. So the book Leviticus has the same word, Vayikra Adonai. Who does he call? Here he calls Adam. So some people might see Vayikra, they think Vayikra, 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 they know Vayikra. God calls. He can talk, he can do Vayomer, he can Vayikra, and he can do other things. So we need to be sensitive to this. Sometimes, again, in translation, it would be he said, he asked. We need to know Vayikra. And then he calls Adam and says, Ayeka, where are you? And this, of course, is some see this as a question. Rhetorical, we don't know. Maybe rhetorical. Maybe rhetorical, right? But it's also an existential question. That God is always asking you, Mordy, Dror, Darren, Wayne, Veron, and so on. Ayeka, where are you? What are you doing with your life? Where are you hiding from? What are you hiding from? What are you afraid of? Right? Are you afraid of something? What do you have to hide? Now I'm doing Pasuk Yud. Vayomer, are you following? Pasuk Yud, the 10th Pasuk. Vayomer, I'll do it a bit faster, but try to follow. Vayomer et kolcha, because I want you to get used to the Hebrew. That's what I'm reading, okay? Vayomer et kolcha shamati bagan. Va'ira, ki erom. Remember the word erom or arum? Naked, right? Ki erom anochi va'echabe. And I hit. Vayomer, help me out. What is Vayomer? What is Vayomer? He said, me, who? Okay, me is who? Who said? Me higid lecha. You can write it. That's a very important word. Mem yud, me. Or M-I, me. Mi higid lecha. Mi higid lecha. Who told you that you are erom? Ki erom ata. Hamin ha'etz. Asher tziviticha levilti echol mimenu achalta. Did you eat from the tree? I told you do not eat from it. Vayomer. Verse 12. Ha'adam. Ha'isha. So what did man say? Ha'isha. The woman. She. That you gave. Asher natata imadi. He in Hebrew is she. Okay, very, very confusing. Me is who, and okay, and you could probably also find it on YouTube.
Who is he?
Some comedians.
He,
Yeah,
she.
exactly. So he is she. Okay, he is. He natna li min ha'etz. She gave me from the tree. Va'ochel, and I ate. Vayomer, verse 13. And he said, who said, Adonai Elohim, la isha, la is to. Remember, we can say or el or le. The letter lamed, when it comes as an addition to the word, in the beginning of the word, so it's to. Remember, we have ve, and we have ke, like, as if, and le, to. So what did he say to the isha? Ma, what is ma? What? Ma zot asit, what have you done? V'tomer ha'isha, hanachash, the snake, right? So we have in verse 12, Vayomer ha'adam ha'isha, and here we have v'tomer ha'isha, hanachash. We see the same form exactly. Ha'adam ha'isha, ha'isha hanachash, and why doesn't Nachash talk? Because God did not ask him any questions. He didn't want him to talk. So he's the only one that wasn't asked a question. V'tomer ha'isha, Nachash hishi'anu ba'ochel. Verse 14, Vayomer Adonai Elohim el hanachash, to the snake, ki, because, since, asita zot, arur. Arur is another word in your vocabulary you have in the end of the paper. Arur is cursed. And it's quite harsh. It's quite harsh when you find in the Bible the word arur. That is frightening. Okay? Arur is, and even today in Hebrew, you would probably not use that word. Arur is, like very, very, really cursed, Arur ata mikol habehema, so you are cursed. Mikol habehema umikol chayat hasadeh. Chaya is animal. It's another word that you find in your vocabulary. Al gichoncha telech ve'afar. Remember the word afar? Afar is dust, right? Afar tochal kol yemei chayecha. He says you're going to eat dust all the days you live. Now, there are some terms that if you read Hebrew, and you don't even have to read Hebrew, you read the transliteration, you'll see that they repeat themselves. When God is punishing Adam, and I'm not saying Chava. Chava is Eve. Why not? She's not called Chava. She's called Chava later. Only later. Only in a few psukim. Okay? When she's in the garden in Gan-Eden, she's not Chava. She's Isha. Did you see Chava? I didn't see Eve. And when you tell your friends about Gan-Eden and Adam and Eve, you say Adam and Isha. It's true. Adam called her Chava, but only later. Okay? So now there's Isha. It's not called Chava. So it tells us כל ימי חייך, פסוק ט"ו, זה פסוק 15, ואיבה אשית בינך ובין האישה ובין זרעך ובין זרעה, הוא ישופך ראש, what is ראש? Head, which where do we have a word that reminds us Rosh, the first word of the Bible? What's the first word of the Bible? Bereshit. Rosh Hashanah, of course, is correct, but the first word of the Bible, in the beginning, Barosh. Rosh, head, at the beginning. Bereshit, Barosh. Rosh, so, right, we can kill the snake by hitting him in the head, and the snake gets us in our heel, akev. Okay. By the way, there's the shoes, right? How they're called in English? You say heel shoes, or is that a thing? How?
The heels of the shoes.
No, but you have like for women shoes with a heel. How is it called?
High heels.
High heel shoes. So in Hebrew you say na'alei akev. Okay. Na'al is a shoe. Na'al akev, one shoe, and for two shoes you say na'alei akev, high heel shoes. Okay. Akev is a biblical word that we have here. El ha'isha amar harbe, this is the 16 is 16, harbe etzvonech veheronech. This is the first time that the woman discovers that she can get pregnant. How come? Soon. Be'etzev teldi banim, el ishech tshukatech vehu imshol bach. The man is going to rule, is going to govern over the woman. Why? I'll tell you what I think. Adam Amar, this is the 17th, Adam, and to Adam, Amar is said, Ki, because, Shamata, the kol, remember what is kol? Right. Kol, we had kol, who do we have a kol? Kol Adonai we had the kol of God, and now we have the kol of the woman. Shamata, the kol ishtecha, your wife. ותאכל מן העץ, you ate from the tree, אשר ציוויתיך לאמור, לא תאכל. Don't eat ממנו, arura. Remember the word arur, arura, arur, cursed. Arur, arura. Remember sometimes we put the letter hey in the end of a word and then the male becomes a female. Because adama, I said every word in Hebrew is either male or female, adama is a female. Adama, land, ground, it will be cursed for you. בעיצבון תאכלנה כל ימי חייך. 18, וקוץ ודרדר תצמיח לך, ואכלת את עשב השדה. בזיעת אפך תאכל לחם עד שובך אל האדמה, כי ממנה לוקחת, כי עפר, remember the word עפר? עפר is dust. עפר אתה, you are dust. So now you read the Hebrew and you say, God said the word עפר to Nachash, and he said the word עפר to Adam. He said the word itzev, sadness, to Isha. When she's going to be pregnant, she'll be sad. Itzvonech, and he said the word itzavon to man. He uses the same Hebrew word. It's very significant. Afar ata, vel afar tashuv. Vayikra, remember the word vayikra? Here it is again, and this time not God, this is Adam. Verse 20, vayikra Adam shem ishto, Chava. Naim meod, welcome. Chava, first time. Now we have Chava. Chava is Eve. Why is she called Chava? Because Chava sounds like Chaya, Chai. What is Chaim? Life. Remember, it's my second name. Mordechai, Mordechai, Chaim. Chaim is life. Chaya is animal. It has life in it. Chava. So what is Eve? Chava. The woman, the mother that gives life, she gives life. It's her that gives life. So she is Chava. And then verse 21, Vayas Adonai Elohim la'adam ve'le'ishto kutnot or vayalbishem. He makes him leather clothes, garments, and he dresses them up. And then 22, Vayomer Adonai Elohim hen ha'adam haya ke'achad mimeno ladat tov, vara. He's afraid that man is going to know good and evil. He knows already good and evil, sorry. And now, ve'ata פן ישלח ידו, יד, hand, ולקח גם מעץ החיים ואכל וחי לעולם, וישלחהו אדוני אלוהים מגן עדן לעבוד את האדמה אשר לוקח משם, ויגרש את האדם וישכן מקדם לגן עדן את הכרובים ואת תלת החרב המתהפכת לשמור את דרך עץ החיים. I'm reading it fast because I want to say, you'll give me 5 minutes and that's it, okay? How do you feel about this Hebrew words of the story?
I have a question. So verse 9, right?
Yes.
Vayikra Adonai Elohim el ha'adam vayomer lo ayika.
Right.
So when God asked Adam, where are you? He knew that they ate from the tree.
That's a question. What do you think? Maybe yes, and it's a rhetoric question. He wants to allow him, to give him a chance to confess, to see how he's going to handle the situation. Maybe he also wants to see how Adam perceived it. What is his perception? I know you did something, but please explain, how did you see this? Did you feel it was wrong? Maybe no, maybe yes. Let's let you, how do you say, the narrative, right? The narrative, there's a story here. Let's see what you have to say. Very important. That's why Adonai he lets Adam talk. He wants to let Adam.
Why didn't he ask Eve, where was she?
Good question. One answer could be, who is running away? Who initiated the runaway? It says first in Pasuk Chet, the 8th verse, Vayitchabe. Vayitchabe, hid, is not plural, it's one. It says Vayitchabe ha'adam. Adam hid, and then it says, and his wife. But it doesn't say Vayitchabu. Vayitchabu is hid. So first of all, we have Adam before his wife. So maybe what happened is that Adam said, come, let's go, right? We gotta run. And then he says to Adam, okay, that can be one thing that, based on the verse, based on the text. Adam mitchabe, he's hiding, so Adam needs to give an answer. But I'm sure there are other explanations, but this can be one. Okay, but I will say a few things about the chapter. It's okay. You heard me talk so much. I feel so bad.
Can I ask,
Yes.
was the concept of hunger,
Yes.
was that originally was it there from the start?
The concept of hunger.
The concept of hunger, because initially he didn't feel shame, right? Did he feel hunger?
If he felt hungry, and that's why he ate from the tree of knowledge, or
Well, why is the whole, why is it so dramatic about not eating from the tree?
oh, because he can eat from other trees, right?
On the tree.
God told him you can eat
So you can.
from you can. So it means that there were many trees. There were many other trees. Maybe apple, right? I don't know. Other trees, and he could eat, and this one tree he cannot eat. So first of all, we have a psychological phenomenon when you say, don't touch this, right? We want to touch. This is a secret. This is hidden. You can use anything you want but this. We all want to know what is so special about this. There is a reason why not. And if the reason is don't touch it because it's dangerous, so I accept it. But when Nachash says that's not the reason. That's why Nachash got the worst curse. Because, I can be curious, but Nachash says you're not allowed to touch it because there's an interest, right? There's a how do you say? There's a motive, okay? Adonai has a motive. He doesn't want you to eat from it because he knows you can become God. And then he said, that's why he does not allow me to touch, but to eat from the tree. God doesn't say don't touch the tree. Isha says to Nachash, God told us not to touch the tree, but God never said don't touch the tree. Look it up. When you read the Bible, you see God never said don't touch the tree. You can touch the tree, of course you can touch the tree. Don't eat from the tree. And what happened is that Isha, Chava, Eve said, God said don't touch. Why did she say don't touch? Maybe, and here I wanted to share something else with you. Who did Adonai, who got the instructions?
God instructed
Adam. Eve wasn't alive when Adonai told Adam, don't eat from the tree. So my guess is that Eve was created, right? God split Adam into two. He fell asleep, right? He woke up, he had this other half of him looking at him. Oh, nice, right? I was happy. And then he told her, welcome to Gan-Eden. You're in Gan-Eden. Now, another amazing thing is, where was Adam created? From the soil, but correct. But where was he created in the world? People mistakenly think that Adam came from Gan-Eden. Adam never came from Gan-Eden. People say, we want to return to the primary source, to the primordial, right? Primordially. We want to go back to Gan-Eden. You never came from Gan-Eden. You never belonged in Gan-Eden. God took you from earth. Maybe you were in Egypt, or in the land of Israel, or in Iraq, right? It's the same area. And he took you, because it says in the Bible that God took, ulakach, he took Adam and placed him in Gan-Eden. And then when he didn't do what he needed to do, he brought him back where he belonged, at the first place. We were never, the only person that was created in Gan-Eden is Chava. The woman belongs to Gan-Eden. The woman, but I see it like, like somebody, like if I have a kid in Singapore, is it Israeli, the kid? Is he Israeli or Singaporean? So I feel like, the parents, because he was created from Adam. So Adam is created from Adamah. What is Adamah? The soil. The Adamah is not the Adamah of Gan-Eden. So Chava, her material, right, the form is not from Gan-Eden, but it's in the air of Gan-Eden, in the atmosphere of Gan-Eden. So he's born in Singapore, but not really Singaporean, right? Okay, Singaporean. Gan-Eden, Beseder. But it comes from Adam, and that's why, and almost the last, when God kicks Adam out, he tells him, you go back, and it's really, that's amazing, because he tells them, in the verse 23, he says, you go, and you work Adamah, you're going to work the Adamah, you're going to work the land where you came from, where I took you from. You go back home, okay? So he's sending him back home. Don't be too dramatic. Don't cry about it. That's your real home. I came, I wanted to give you a treat, so many trees. Okay, now I want to say two last things about this chapter. First of all, in the translation, it seems like Nachash is asking Chava, Isha, asking her a question. Did God really forbid? No. Chava did not ask, Nachash did not ask a question. Nachash started a sentence and the sentence stopped in the middle. If you read the Hebrew, Nachash says like this. Even though God said you cannot eat from the tree, and then Isha comes in and interrupts. She interrupts. It's okay. And I think that's why Nachash is so cunning, right? He knows. It's like I tell you, even though you just returned from jail, right? Nobody's returned from jail. I say something, an assumption that triggers you. And you have to say, so he says, even though God told you you cannot eat from none of the trees, he didn't complete the sentence. And then Chava said, no. Vatomer ha'isha el hanachash, he tells him, we can eat from the trees, it's okay. The only thing we cannot do is touch this tree. Okay, so she says yes, and then we said, and we don't know yet which tree exactly, it's maybe for another time. She said, don't touch. Maybe because Adam told her, Adam didn't want to take any risks. So Adam says, you cannot touch the tree. But Adonai didn't say that. So we learn from this, when we give instructions, sometimes it's not good to be too careful. Because we can get into trouble. Because if we tell people you don't do something and they can, and then they see they really can, they let themselves do the whole thing. They let themselves enter places they don't belong to. And then Isha says, why can't we? Because God said we will die. God said, no, you will know the difference between good and evil, and your eyes are going to open. The awakening, right? Everybody wants to be awakened. And I think, who fell asleep? Adam, remember? God put him to sleep. Doesn't say he ever, maybe he woke up, right? But did he really wake up? He woke up, he was a different person. Where is the awakening? Where is this awakening? Well, everybody wants the awakening. And that's why we see in verse 6, everything is about vision. She wants to see. She sees that the tree is good. She sees that it's precious for the eyes, and so on and so on. So there's the vision thing here. And she eats, and then I think, and that's how I read this, that Adam did not know he's eating the forbidden tree. He did not know. And when Adam did not take responsibility, he was correct. When Adonai told him, how do you know you're naked? Did you eat from the tree? He looked at Chava and said, did we eat from the tree? She gave me the fruit. I imagine this as him having a fruit salad. Think about it. There's so many trees, so many fruits. Where is Adam during the day? He's working. Why is he working? Because God told him work. God brought him to work. He was a foreign worker. He was a foreign worker, right? God said, Le'ovda v'leshomra, you need to work the land. You need to protect the land. And he came home and he had a fruit salad. And one of the fruit was, it's a dot, and all of a sudden he says, we are something here, we're naked. And that's when sexuality comes in for the first time. Until then, and we really need to, this is the most important thing we need to understand. Isha, woman, never should have been pregnant. Children, there's not such a thing. There's Gan-Eden, there's Adam. Okay, he's lonely, let's give him a Isha. Can be together, they can talk, I don't know. They didn't even know they're naked. They had no awareness of their body. And now, all of a sudden, they have awareness. They're attracted. They know. They have this awareness, the consciousness, and then they can reproduce. And they should reproduce because they're going to die. So they need a replacement. Up to now, they live forever, eternity. They ate from the tree. So in the moment that the world was introduced to death, is the same moment where the world is introduced to life. That same moment, okay? You die, okay, you need to take care of whoever's gonna replace you. Who's coming next? You gotta be able to reproduce. So you're naked, you're ashamed, you gotta get dressed. You call her Chava after the tree. Before the tree, she's not Chava. She's not Im Kol Chai, she's not the mother for all living. Because there is no living, there is no mother, there's no concept of mother. Okay? So, I think there's more to say here about, but you know, we're already, I think we should stop. But just think about it at home, about the punishments. Also, the word sin does not appear. I think there's a reason. The word sin does not appear never said it was wrong what they did. He asked him, I told you not to eat, you ate. He had a good explanation. He said, you told me not to eat, I didn't know, right? My wife gave it to me. The wife also had a good explanation, by the way. She had a good explanation. She said, Nachash, very good explanation, and it seems like God was satisfied with that. And I think that if it's not a punishment, it's a consequence. Okay? If you touch fire, you get burnt, not because someone is punishing you, that's just what happens. Okay? And things that happen, their dynamics, why did they get? You think about it. Why this consequence or punishment? We'll end here. If you have any questions, anything you want to tell me, talk to me, you can, but whoever needs to go, wants to go, feel free. Formally, we're done, and thanks again. And I will text you for next week to say where we're going, okay? Hope it's not too exhausting, and thank you. Okay.
Thank you.